Hi, and welcome back to Unifying Wisdom. I am Chandra Mel, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit, just a little bit, because I just started it. I'm going to talk to you about the Kybalion. I think I'm saying that right. So I ordered myself a copy because I've been studying the universal laws in a coaching course that I'm going through, and I heard about the Kybalion and how Hermes Trismegistus, could be saying his name wrong, but I'll put the word or the name up here for you. He wrote the Kybalion, written by or added to by Elijah D. Evans and William Walker Atkinson. So I think they just kind of break it down or make it a little bit easier to comprehend because, you know, it's been almost 2,000 years. So this is about the principles of the universe, otherwise known as the laws. And according to him, there are 7 principles of the Kybalion. I don't even know what the Kybalion means. See, the thing that's so crazy is how much I love learning and sharing information, but how quickly it will leave my mind after I read it. It's crazy, but there are memory games out there, so it looks like I need to invest. So, I'll give you a couple excerpts of information from the intro, and if I do any direct quotes, I will obviously say quote unquote. I'm not going to read you this book because I'm sure there are some heavy copyright issues on that. So, the Kybalion is a text that really goes into the principles of Hermetic philosophy. So this can actually be traced back to the origins of Hermetic philosophy, go back to ancient Egypt and Greece. So they actually, it says that Egypt is where the foundation of it would be, in the fact that it actually influenced philosophies of nations for, you know, thousands of years after that. It spread into India, Persia, Chaldea. I want to say it's Chaldea, not Chaldea. What the fuck? Can you chill? Okay. China, Japan, ancient Greece, Rome, and some other places. So there were groups of people. This was hidden knowledge that seemed to, I want to say that almost there was a hierophant, or if you know anything about the tarot cards, the High Priestess is really well known for being a very wise priestess, and she shares knowledge, but she's very choosy about who gets that knowledge when. She, in her wisdom, decides when someone is at the point that they can take that knowledge and do good with it rather than not do good with it. So, one second. I have to try this new tea. This is not an ad, but my friend just told me about Club Magic Hour tea, and I've been replacing my bad habit of drinking an excessive amount of wine with drinking an excessive amount of plant water, and I'm really excited about it. So, oh, this is the new Venus tea that she just came out with. I did it on pre-order because I wanted to. And it's as good as it smells. Okay, so let's try to get a little bit back into this. Aha, okay, so there was a particular master in ancient Egypt who was hailed as the master of masters, and that was Hermes Trismegistus. Trismegistus? Whatever. Not what? No disrespect, man. So he is considered the father of occult wisdom, the founder of astrology, and he also is considered the discoverer of alchemy, which is really cool. I might have to dabble in some alchemy in the future, because that actually sounds pretty interesting. I'm not sure how much of it would be true, but whatever. We'll look into alchemy in the future. So there's not any details on his actual life, and then many places actually were kind of squabbling over claiming their land to be where he was from, which there sounds like he was, you know, pretty well loved, so that makes sense. Also, quote, the best authorities consider him to be a contemporary of Abraham, and some Jewish traditions claim that Abraham learned some of his mystic knowledge from Hermes himself. Abraham being a figure in maybe the Quran? Don't know. At least the Bible. And some other religious religions on my queue as well, okay? Just give me some space. There's a lot of things I don't know. I recognize that. Okay, so his name was synonymous with the fount of wisdom, and oh my god, okay. So it says that they observed the principle of secrecy in their teachings, and this, oh, here's a statement, and I quote, they did not believe in, quote, casting pearls before swine, but instead held the principle of, quote, milk for babes, meat for strong men. So again, much like the High Priestess of the Tarot, they believed that information should be granted as they see that you are worthy or wise enough, or at a stage where you will handle that information well. Which, yeah, that's debatable. That can go either way, really, depending. There tends to be a power struggle with mankind. So anyone who's given the power to hold secrecy over others, in my personal opinion, it can go bad pretty quick. It can get, what's the one word? Politics. What are politics? Corrupt. It can get corrupt really quick. But I can see there being some good ideals behind it. So I can see why they might want. I can see why they might want to start it out that way, or whatever. You know what? We don't have to say sentences correctly around here. So, a lot of Hermeticism beliefs and practices did end up getting lost through time when we started coming into some of the Christian theologies and religions, when they started to come up. Because, well, one of the things that it does point out is the debate of Christ, whether he is a part of God or whether he is Son of God. So with the Holy Trinity, there's the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. There are some beliefs systems that they claimed he was part of the Holy Spirit, so he was God. And then there are others that say, no, he is a separate entity from God. And I don't know why I got onto that. Whatever. Okay. So let's cover what the 7 principles of the Kybalion are. There are... the first is the principle of mentalism. So This one is not stated in the universal laws specifically, but it does have some similarities, or maybe it's just of a different name. So it is saying that the universe is mental in nature. It is a mental source. And all things are created by the mind. The mind recognized, became aware, and the mind literally manifested everything in the universe. The second principle is the principle of correspondence. And that is stating that there is a correspondence between everything in the universe. There is a connection. So that's similar to, even though, okay, I won't go into that because it's just going to get off track. There is a connection between absolutely everything in existence. Be it an object, be it something that we deem to have life, be it a galaxy far, far away. And that is something that's, oh, and okay, here's the other part. I just went on this whole thing. Between different planes. Okay, so that's the other part of it. And when something happens on one plane, it is reflected on another plane of existence. This is why this channel is us learning together. Okay, there is the principle of vibration, which is the principle that everything in the universe is in constant motion. And the more solid something is, so what we deem as matter actually consists of energy vibrating at a low rate. So the reason we are solid is its low rates of vibration, low frequencies. And then there's the principle of polarity, which states that everything in the universe has its polar opposite, but also the fact that they have to exist. Like they coincide. One cannot exist without the other. Yin, yang, light, dark, good, bad, whatever else. Salt, pepper. So they are necessary for each other's existence. And then the fifth principle is the principle of rhythm. So everything in the universe moves in a cyclical manner. And there are patterns of rhythm present in all things. So that was, yeah. The sixth principle is the principle of cause and effect. So, literally stating everything in the universe has, there is a cause and effect to it. The effect has a cause. The cause has an effect. Everything. I don't think it gets more simple than that. And then the last one is the principle of gender. So there is a masculine and a feminine energy in all things, and that creates an equality, a balance. Well, we want them balanced. And having those energies is what it's necessary for creation and for manifestation. And there was something, well, I lost it, so I guess it doesn't matter. I forgot already. So, in the Kybalion, they call the universe is a mental creation of the all. Okay. So, religions have, many of them have gods, or a god, or gods and goddesses, or a goddess. Many different variables or variations. We know this. Some belief systems say that there is nothing that created everything. It just is. It just happened. And there are also some belief systems that there is a creator, but that creator is not what we have given in these religions. So an animal or a figure of a man or a woman that has made us in their image or anything of that nature. So I call it universe. I thank the universe when I am expressing gratitude, or I ask the universe to work with me in manifesting and things of that nature. But even that, according to the Kybalion, is not proper terminology, because the universe was created by what it deems, or what they have labeled, the all. The all is that mentalism, that creator of every single thing. There is no beginning or end to the... There is no beginning or end to the all. The all has always existed and will always exist. It is a part of everything. Much like you are a part of every piece of art that you create. So one of the sentences that I was just, or the statements I was just reading about last night was, all is in the all, and the all is in all. And it's easy to trip yourself up on that. Everything is a part of the all because the all created it. But we still have to live by the laws and the principles that govern our existence. So we have to follow gravity to a certain extent. You know, we have to breathe air to live. There are these laws and rules and principles that we cannot defy, but we are still a part of the all because the all created everything. The all is in everything because it created everything. However, the all is not governed by any laws, by any principles, because it is the all. I hope I'm clarifying that. I'll probably read a couple quotes from the book directly just to give more clarity. So, the all is mind, the universe is mental. Okay. That is a part of, okay. So the universal law, the first universal law when you're studying those is the law of divine oneness, or the law of oneness. There's many forms of the same exact, it's the law of oneness. And the law of the principle of mentalism is similar in that regard because it also states that everything is connected. So that's a really good principle and law to pay attention to, or at least it's one that I'm focusing on right now, because if you understand that we are all made of the same thing, energy, if you understand that we are all intrinsically connected, it offers you an opportunity to have more empathy and compassion for everyone and everything around you. Humans tend to feel the need to relate to something in order to have compassion and kindness and care for whatever that may be, whatever it may be. And that is why the law of oneness is really beautiful in my eyes, because it gets down to the core of human nature, saying you are related to everything. Therefore, you should respect and treat with kindness and empathy and equality and compassion everything. So, the principle of mentalism is basically saying that as well, along with the fact that the universe is mental. So much like anyone who is learning something, I think that a lot of us do get a little bit ignorant and arrogant and think that we know more than we do. I think that's a part of discovery, whether it's personal discovery, as in you're learning something in college or in school or even outside of that, at 31 years old, or discovery of an invention or discovery of something that you and nobody for a chunk of time before you knew existed. I think that it seems to be a part of our nature to get arrogant and do make some poor choices. So I'm gonna just go ahead and read this right off the page. So this is quoting from the Kybalion. In the search for understanding, some individuals might believe that they can defy the laws of the universe. However, these people are foolish and vain, as they will inevitably be broken against the rocks and torn asunder by the elements. It's an intense statement. On the other hand, the truly wise understand the nature of the universe and use its laws against itself. Now, for me, when I first read that statement, I was like, that sounds risky. Use it against itself sounds risky. By utilizing the art of alchemy, they transmute what is undesirable into what is worthy, thereby triumphing. So for me, manifesting. Makes sense. True mastery is not found in abnormal dreams, visions, or fantastic imaginings, but rather in using higher forces against the lower. By vibrating on the higher planes, they escape the pains of the lower ones. Transmutation, not presumptuous denial, is the weapon of the master. End quote. So that's just raising your frequency is what I was reading that as. I mean, there's more complexity to it, but when it talks about going on higher planes to escape the plane of the lower ones, that's raising your frequency. You use love and courage and enlightenment and all these things to raise your frequency. And learning about the principles of the universe and or the laws of the universe should not, the goal of that is not to fight against them or pretend they don't exist once you've learned about them. The goal is to say, okay, and then use them to your advantage, work with them to create the life you want. When you learn about, I shouldn't use speed wheels, a lot of us speed, but when you learn about drunk driving or something, any law, the goal of the law is not to break it. There are consequences for breaking those laws. Now, breaking universal laws and universal principles is obviously going to have a much more concrete and inescapable consequence, in my opinion, because it's not mankind that is controlling the consequence. It is existence. It is the universe itself. So there's a lot of talk about half wisdom and wisdom in this book. And some of what it's talking about with the half-wise is when someone learns of the principles of the universe and they decide that they are going to live on that higher plane, not the frequency, but they're going to live by the laws of the universe, the principles of the universe, but they're going to ignore their everyday life. They're going to ignore what they have to handle and deal with in the reality that we live in. So you still need to eat. You still need to sleep. You still need to trade energy, be it working for money, trading goods for services, services for goods. You still need to do those things to survive. You cannot just, believe me, if anybody would be willing to do it or has practice in it, I am one. But you cannot just go inside of your mind and live only there. There are things in our reality here on this planet or here in our solar system that we have to deal with. So that is what they're saying is half-wise, whereas wise learns about those principles, recognizes them for their what they are. They exist. You can't stop them from existing. You can't stop them from being. But then they also recognize, I have to be present in my reality. So I have to recognize both of these facets and live by that. So the example it gives is a half-wise would be thinking the universe is merely a dream, comparing it to his own dreams when he sleeps. No. If you just think you're in a dream and then you walk up to a fucking lion, there's still a good chance that that lion will kill you. So you can't just say, well, the universal law is like, this reality, it isn't real. It's not real. No, these things exist. We are affected by it because we are a part of this reality, this existence. The all will not be affected by a fucking lion. But we will. Where's the thing I was looking for? I lost what I was doing. I am going to read you an excerpt from this book about the all in the all, in case what I explained didn't make sense, which can be typical of me. So, okay. Quote, to better understand this concept, the all is in the all and all is in the all, let us consider the characters created by Shakespeare, or the Venus of Medici, the Sistine Madonna, and the Apollo Belvedere. Did these characters and sculptors have a personal spirit independent of their creator? The law of paradox explains that both propositions are true, viewed from the proper viewpoints. The characters and sculptures represent the spiritual and mental power of their creators, but they also have spirits and reality of their own. Macabre is both Macabre and Dickens. While Macabre may be said to be Dickens, Dickens is not identical to Macabre. The all is in the earthworm, and yet the earthworm is far from being the all. And still, the wonder remains. that though the earthworm exists merely as a lowly thing, created and having its being solely within the mind of the all, yet the all is immanent in the earthworm and in the particles that go to make up the earthworm. Can there be any greater mystery than this of all in the all and the all in all? End quote. So it's easy to get yourself turned around, or at least it is for me, but inherently I do understand it. I think it's pretty clear. So if you have any thoughts on that, or a better example, share that in the comments, please, because that is a fascinating one. We're not going to go any further because I will probably have to reread what I did read last night in order to have any sort of discussion about it. But this has already been 30 minutes. Okay, great. So it's perfect time to go. So thank you for joining me. I'm Chandra Mel. This is Unifying Wisdom. Please, if you like this, hit the like icon. If you're excited about what's coming, or if you are already enjoying what's on here, go ahead and hit the subscribe and then the little bell icon. That'll keep you updated, and this is completely free. So, more on the Kybalion in the future. No date set, but this is a great book, and I'm super excited to learn more about it and share more with you. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say, so I'm just gonna send off with that.